Okay guys, this is Ian and welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to review the Tangzu Zetianwu. I call it Wu Zetian because in Chinese our surname is always in front. So Wu Zetian. Wu is the surname of this empress, okay, this Chinese empress. Now Wu Zetian by Tangzu, this is their first planar driver IEM, and it's selling at 150 US dollars. In my opinion, now in this very competitive market, this 150 US dollars is considered expensive lah. I mean, a few months back, 150 US dollars may sound like a very good deal, but now with this crowded environment, a lot of brands are coming out with planar IEMs at very low price. But luckily, this IEM has got very good technicalities and also very good tuning also. So I would say the $150 is justified lah. Okay, and also the accessories that they provide is quite substantial. So 150 US dollars is harmonish tuned IEM. So what is Harman? Harman is what the majority of the world is comfortable to listen to. That means the frequency curve in terms of the bass level, the mids level, and the treble level lah. So Harman is what everybody, the average level of the combined bass, mids, and treble. So for this Tangzu Zetian is tuned quite close to the Harman curve, which I'll show you later. And I would feel that the bass maybe is a bit more than a Harman curve lah, which I feel, and I already listened to it. So for those of you who are more inclined to harmonish tuning, which I am, then you will like this tuning. At the same time, the technicalities on this are really good lah, and I'll compare this with the Dioko, which I have here. Okay, so this is the Dioko and also the Kirins lah. So later at the end of the video, I'll compare these IEMs, so please make sure you watch to the end. So yeah, I think in terms of the overall sound signature is quite warm. Okay, it's a planar type of warm lah. It's not a dynamic type of warm. Of course, if you compare it with a dynamic driver, this is not as warm as a dynamic driver, but with the so-called elevated bass, it's about 1 or 2 dB above the Harman curve lah. So I would say it sounds a bit warm, and it's got quite a substantial note weight to the overall sound signature. Okay, so in terms of listening experience, more of a fun listening experience lah, as compared to the Diokos. So this one, I would say, if you are, you just want to enjoy listening to your music and not really critically listening to your tracks, then this is quite suitable lah. Okay, so let's just go through the accessories very quickly, and then the specs also before we touch on the sound. So this is the box that comes in, very big box. I would find it a bit unnecessary lah, too big already. So you see all the accessories, a lot of space being wasted. So maybe they might want to lessen the space a bit, make this box a bit more manageable. But anyway, this is the box. The driver, as mentioned, is planar, and it's a 14.5 millimeter planar driver. The sensitivity is 100, impedance is 16 ohms, and the frequency range is 20 to 20,000 hertz. Okay, so very big box. Inside the box, you'll find this very big carrying case also. Now this case is too big for me lah. If I carry a backpack, I still can use this and put this in a backpack if I'm not listening to my IEM. But if I'm just empty-handed and I'm going out, I'll just stuff the IEM in my pocket or my jeans. This will not fit in my jeans. Okay, it's too big. But it's nice lah. It's a nice case. All right, hard case. The leather I think is synthetic. Let me do a smell test. Yeah, I can smell the chemical lah. So it's synthetic leather with the embossing of the Tangzu logo on it. The zippers are gold lah. So this is very typical of a Chinese culture whereby red and gold they go together and look very majestic. Okay, and on the inside you see got a pocket to put your tips, and then here you got the felt. Okay, felt compartment, you can put your IEM inside and then coil your cable around it. So very nice case lah. And also you can actually purchase this separately from the IEM. Alright, so you can just buy this case which is available on Hifigo. Okay, now next will be the ear tips. Right, you got actually two types. I think this one is a mistake lah. It's not foam tip, but inside here I see like a silicone tip. So you have two types. Okay, I will just say it's two types: balance and bass enhance. So I've been using the balance one lah, and also the provided ear tips which is here. This is more of a maybe balance lah. Okay, a bit wider than the balance ear tip. So this is the widest, alright, which is the one provided on IEM. But anyway, this bass boosted one and the balanced one, so it depends on what type of listening experience you want. If you want more bass, you take this use this ear tip. If you want more balanced listening, then use this ear tip. You can see the inner bore is a bit different. This one is a bit wider, this one is a bit narrower, so it depends on your preference. Okay, so this is the ear tips, the 3 different size for each type lah. Okay, then that's the cable. Right, so this is the cable provided, and for this cable, right, you can actually also choose the headphone jack. You can choose either you want 3.5 or 4.4. So during checkout on the Hifigo's website, you can actually choose whether you want 3.5 or 4.4. Headphone jack is very nice and well built lah. Metal jack. Alright, the whole thing is made of metal, no plastic on this one. So very well built. Then the cable itself, right, is a 5N 4-core OFC cable. I find that it's very durable, very comfortable to hold, and then it's not a very stiff cable, very nice and soft. Okay, easy to manage. Then the chin slider and the wide splitter is a metal sleeve for the chin slider, metal sleeve, and the wide splitter. For the ear hooks, okay, I want to comment on the ear hooks. And I want to comment on Tangzu for doing this. No other, other brands got do but not a lot. Okay, but I see this thing here, which is the indication of left and right, and I tell you, this is so much of a godsend. Every time I will insert this in the wrong side. So even on the IEM itself, you can see, right, there is an indication here, right. Okay, so just match right, and just match the cable and insert the 2 pin. So easy. So I feel that manufacturers, they should have all these indications are easier for the user. Okay, so ear hooks I would say is soft, very good, conformable to my ear, the shape of my ear, and it does not tug on the IEM lah. Alright, so I find that these ear hooks are very nice. So cable, very nice cable. Then the IEM themselves. So I feel that this IEM is a very well designed IEM. If you match them together, you see it got nice symmetrical type of design. Very nice, right? So this is a CNC, right, and edged onto the aluminum faceplate. Purple color is my color. I like this color. On the inside is 3D printed inner shell. It's got a fin here, and 2-pin connector is here. The nozzle is part of the shell itself all 3D printed and the nozzle is quite a wide bore type of nozzle, and it's got a paper filter. Right, so the shell is pretty normal IEM shape okay, so nothing much to talk about, but let's talk about the fit and comfort. So fit and comfort, right, I find that it fits my ear very well. So this type, and I think if you watch my videos, I like this type of IEM for the fin, right, and it fits my ear, doesn't give me any pain, doesn't give me any fatigue, it doesn't have any sharp corners that pushes to the back of my ear, so a very comfortable fit. The nozzle length also just nice, so it doesn't go in too deep, it doesn't too shallow also, so it's just nice very comfortable, very very good type of shape lah, I find. And the seal that it gives also very good also, and because it doesn't move around, it maintains the seal lah. So I would say the seal and the cutoff from the ambient sound is about maybe 70% like that lah, 60%. Okay, so let's talk about the sound. Now, just now I was saying that this IM, right, is a balanced tuned IM. Okay, so let's take out my graph. Okay, so this is my graph, and as you can see, it's quite close to the Harman curve lah. This dotted line, right, is the Harman curve, and as I mentioned again, I repeat again, the Harman curve is what the majority of us are comfortable listening to in terms of the bass level, the mids level, and the treble level. So the green line is the Tangzu Zetianwu or the Zetianwu, okay, as what Amo will say, okay, but this is the Zetianwu, okay, how it's being tuned, right? So it's quite close except for the bass lah. So the bass is elevated. I would say it's about maybe 2 to 3 dB above the Harman curve, and also the mid bass also. So sub bass is a bit above the Harman curve, the mid bass also a bit Harman curve, but the lower mid is somewhere a bit above, but you know, is not too much lah. And then we come to the treble, it's a bit below in terms of the presence region, and the upper mids, right, it's a bit below the Harman curve. So quite close lah, quite close to the Harman curve. So this one I would say is more fun tuning lah, more fun, and the bass is very present. It's good controlled bass, and I would say it's I would not as warm as a dynamic driver, but it's pleasurable. Okay, it's warm enough to be more soothing to listen to lah. It's not dry, it's not those type of neutral bass. Okay, so easy listening type of bass lah, sub bass. Mid bass also, mid bass is very impactful, got good punch, and in fact it's more punchy than the Dioko lah. Later we'll compare, right, the two. So I find that the mid bass and the sub bass would give this the most bass, right? It's got the most bass out of the 3 IMs that I have. Okay, then the mids are, I would say it's recessed. You know, as you can see, it's lower, the level is lower than the bass. Of course it's recessed lah, so it's not entirely recessed until the bass is like overwhelming and then veils the mids. No, the mids are still clear, right? It's still present, it's got warmth also, and it sounds fun. All right, it sounds well, it's not those type of dry type of, like the pianos, it's still got that texture to it. Piano strikes, the violins got, you know, that the string instruments and air instruments, they still got a bit of warmth to it lah. Okay, so for the mids, very nice and clear also. The vocals, male vocals and female vocals, I will find that they are okay. They are not the brightest, okay, and still got good note weight, good texture, good warmth to the male vocal. They don't sound so dry and analytical. So in terms of vocal wise, it's more fun listening to them as compared to the Diogos lah. Alright, so vocals, I have no complaints. In fact, this whole tuning, right, is a very safe tuning, I would say, because it's not overly bright, or it's not overly dull or dark. The bass is not overly bassy or boomy. It's just safe lah. Okay, so most of us will be able to like this IM. The treble, as I mentioned, is not overly bright, so you don't expect this to have a very energetic type of presentation, and also there's no sibilance, there's no harshness or shoutiness from this IM. Definitely don't have. You will definitely enjoy the treble if you are sensitive to treble. Okay, it's not a dark treble. Okay, some tracks it depends on the track, it will sound a bit more forward lah. It's not harsh, but to me it's not harsh lah. Okay, because you just look at the treble here, not a very harsh treble. Okay, so treble wise, is acceptable, very safe tuning. Now the air for the treble, this is where cymbal strikes, they have that natural roll off. So air here is also quite natural, but I would say it's not as airy as the Diokos. And in terms of the forwardness, I find that the Dioko has got more air, more natural roll off as compared to the Zetianwu. Okay, so overall tuning, right, is safe lah. So if you like to be safe, all right, and listen to all kinds of genre, then this is a very good IM to go for, right? Now soundstage, this is I would say, right, in terms of soundstage, these two, I compared these two, I can't really hear much of a difference lah in terms of the resolution and detail retrieval. These two, I would say, they are very capable. They are very capable drivers. Okay, they have very capable performance in terms of detail retrieval and the resolution. I can't hear the difference. Okay, they perform very well. But in terms of soundstage, this two, okay, this one is more of a outside in type of soundstage, and this one is inside out. So what I mean by that, so outside in is that whereby the soundstage, the vocals are more outwards, right, and more how do I explain, more far away. Okay, but this one is more intimate. Okay, it's closer, right? But the soundstage, in terms of the sound space, these two has the same sound space. Okay, it's just that how they are being spaced out, right? And then the layering is also almost the same. I can't hear the difference. This one has got some height. All right, it's got some height to the soundstage, right? And the width of the soundstage is also quite wide, very far, goes very far. So in terms of technicalities, I can't really hear the difference between these two. So yeah, very good technicalities. For I think $150, it has to perform lah, right? If it sounds worse than this, all right, this is $99, this one $150. So if $150, the technicalities are not there, then obviously I would not recommend it. But the technicalities are there, all right? It sounds like a planar. Very good technicals, right? So overall, I think this is a good fun IEM to go for lah. Okay, let's compare it with the Diokos since I took it out, right? So Diokos are here. Okay, so if you compare the Diokos and the Wu Zetian, this definitely has got more bass lah, right? The tuning wise, this two got very different tuning, very different tone and timbre. Now if you are more a critical listener and you listen to more classic and you want to really focus on your music, you want to sit down, hide yourself somewhere and listen to your music, this one is more clinical, right? More analytical sound, more neutral, and it's got a drier, a very prominent planar tone and texture to the sound that it produces. Okay, but this one, as in the Wu Zetian, it's got more fun and warm tone to it, and heavier note weight, not so dry. It's still dry for planar as compared to a dynamic driver, but it's not as dry as the Diokos, right? So you just want to enjoy listening to your music, right? You don't really care about the analytics, or you just want to have a blast, then the Wu Zetian is the one to go for. Okay, but if you really want to analyze and sit down clinically listen to your music, then it's the Dioko. Okay, but the Wu Zetian has got more bass in terms of sub bass and mid bass, and warmer lah, heavier note weight. Then for the treble, right? Treble, the Wu Zetian sounds a bit more forward, more, I wouldn't say bright lah. It's brighter lah, but it's not a lot lah. It's very marginal, right? Very marginal. But in terms of the air and the roll off of the cymbal strikes and the hi-hats, what I hear is that the Dioko's got more extension lah. Okay, more extension to the roll off and the natural sound of the cymbal strikes lah, okay, as compared to the Wu Zetian. But other than that, right, the treble side here, they are almost the same lah, and the difference here is the bass, okay. And then for the mids, right, the both of them do have same level of the instruments, clarity, the forwardness of the mids, both are almost similar. Vocals, they do sound more soothing, more easier to listen to lah. This one, the Diokos will sound dry, more very clinical, very sterile type of listening experience on the Diokos. But some people like it, some just want to have that pure neutral sound. This one is more warm lah, okay, a bit natural sound, okay. So that's the difference between these two. Now, would I recommend the Wu Zetian? Okay, this is my preference lah, okay. I have my own preference, and depending on my mood also. So if I'm reviewing, I'm a reviewer, if I'm reviewing IEMs, I'll definitely use this to compare lah, okay, to compare with other planar IEMs, because this to me is like a benchmark of neutral, somewhere there. But if I want to enjoy my music and just sit down somewhere and just blast my music, then I will go for the Wu Zetian or the Kirins lah. Now, the price difference, okay, the Dioko is $99, the Wu Zetian is $150, the Kirin is $130. So as you can see, right, this one to me is the most expensive lah, okay. But does it justify for that $150? Yes and no lah, okay. For me, this type of tuning is more bass than the Kirin, definitely. Alright, I feel that the bass on the Kirin is a little bit rolled off. This one has got more extension, but the Kirin has got more impact, a bit too much. Right, this one is just nice, okay. So if you ask me to pick, right, in terms of fun, if I'm in a relaxed mood, I will pick the Wu Zetian lah, right. But if I want to listen to my music clinically, then I'll pick the Diokos. But if you ask me about price, of course, Diokos, right? Diokos is $99. This one is the most expensive lah, alright. But it depends on, every individual is different, so choose carefully whether you want what type of sound and also the price lah. Alright, so that concludes my overall impression and my review of the Tangzu Zetianwu. And if you guys enjoyed watching this video or learned something from this video, please give this video a thumbs up lah. I would really appreciate it. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.